Oh goodness. Um, I don't know why I chose to make this video when I look like this, but I think it has become imperative for me to finally bear my testimony about the Book of Mormon. Excuse my Q-tips. I'm probably going to be sticking them up my nose because my nose is way too chapped to blow my nose, so um, that's what these are for. But anyway, so um, right now I'm sick. I'm kind of away from my job. I don't know what's really happening there. I broke my foot and uh life, I don't know. I was thinking it was getting kind of hard. Um but just barely in the car, I realized that from where I come from, this is nothing. And I need to really look back and realize where I come from, and it's important to bear your testimony in times of trial, because then it just makes it stronger, and it makes you stronger, and it makes you able to withstand your trials. I really believe that. Um, so anyway, a couple years ago, I'm going to try to not get too specific, but you guys will probably be able to, I don't know, speculate about where I was. It'll be pretty easy to guess, I think, but uh, a couple years ago, I was placed in a situation where I was deprived of the basic necessities of life, basically, and I wasn't really treated like a human being. And everything right now seems so bright and cheery compared to when I think back what I went through. Um, Basically, homeless people have it good compared to what I went through for 4 days. I was provided with dusty water, a toilet, really, really bland food. So bland that I stopped eating it after like the first day. And a stone floor and a roof over my head. I was deprived of human contact almost about 99% of the time. I was deprived of my psychiatric medications like all at once, just taken off of them. I was deprived of even color was taken away. I only have one color to look at, so everything just kind of became black and white. I was deprived of clothing, warmth, and basically I wasn't treated like a human being. Anyway, so there I am, basically, you know, I landed myself there, and I think why I'm telling you this is not for pity party, but to tell you that I think God landed me there, or allowed me to land myself there, because it was very important for me to know the extent to which I could fall, and also the extent to which Christ's atonement could pull me back out of it. Deprived of basically everything. Even my own mind. And I requested a Book of Mormon, and I received one, so I had that. So I had basically a toilet, food, and a Book of Mormon. And I had to survive on that for 4 days. And And any person will tell you, if you're provided with just those 3 things, it's common sense. You're not going to do well. You're not going to excel in life. You're not going to have a fun time. But just that last thing, the Book of Mormon, that one ingredient changed my life. And I kind of understand Buddha a little bit more now. When you say, I want happiness, remove I, that's ego, remove want, that's desire, and all that's left is happiness. And I basically lived that in 4 days while reading the Book of Mormon. I read the whole thing through. It was not the first time I read it. In fact, it was about the 8th or the 9th time I'd read it. But by the end of the 4th day, I had happiness. Like I wanted happiness at the very beginning, but by the very end, that's all I had. Because I had the Book of Mormon. And I realized that, I mean, the sensory input was, I'm freezing, I'm basically naked, deprived of almost all my senses, except, there's a blaring light on me 24/7. And, I was going crazy already. But I went even more crazy. And then I got the Book of Mormon, and I knew growing up, I'd been told this book can pull you out of anything. And I read it, and it did. And you have to you have to read it with like full purpose of heart. You have to read it with the faith that it really will do that for you. And in my deepest, darkest moment of despair, it was like, it did not matter how dark, how deep in the hole I could go. Christ goes further still. He goes further than you've ever been. So deep and dark down. And his light, if you embrace him, if you just turn, he's right there with you. You just turn and embrace him. I know I sound like some born again person, but it's true. If you turn and embrace him, it doesn't matter how deep and dark you are. It doesn't.
Savior, Redeemer of my soul, whose mighty hand hath made me whole, whose wondrous power hath raised me up and filled with sweet my bitter cup. What tongue my gratitude can tell? O gracious God of Israel. Never can I repay thee
outside, like, experience does not have to determine my inside experience. And I realized that while reading the Book of Mormon. I don't pretend to know what you're going through, but I know Christ is going through it with you, and he has reached deeper still. And I have a testimony of the Book of Mormon, of the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. And if you don't believe that Mormonism could ever be true, that even if you don't believe that Christianity could ever be true, there are still truisms in the Book of Mormon, and I invite you to read it because it really did shed life into my life in the darkest moment of my existence, and it made it this bright, beautiful existence where I felt like my whole body was filled with light, and I could have been resting in a king's palace on a bed of feathers. It really felt like that. Yeah, sorry for such a long explanation. Really sounded better in my head when I was talking to myself in my car, but hopefully this will be good enough, and just take from it what you will. Okay, thanks everyone.
Me more worthy